Football's back and we're into the swing of the start of the NFL season, and there's one question that everybody's asking. Is Daniel Jones actually a good quarterback? Mr. Dimes is coming off of a stellar first game against the Miami Dolphins where he went 22 for 29, had a 75% completion rating, and put up 272 yards, a touchdown, and then another 2 on the ground. Indiana Jones might be a good quarterback. And I'm coming here from a place of love. I am a New York Giants fan that has been an avid Daniel Jones supporter since he was drafted back in 2019. Daniel Jones has shown a lot of potential at times, but has kind of had his hands held by poor coaching and bad decision making when it came to the Giants organization. What we're seeing here might be that in a competent system with Shane Steichen, Daniel Jones might actually begin to thrive and reach some of that full potential that he had as a top 10 draft pick. I mean, let's think about his tenure with the Giants. He was drafted into a really tough situation, having to be the heir to Eli Manning, a long-time Giants legend and 2-time Super Bowl winner. He was also an unpopular and somewhat of a surprise pick in that draft when he went top 10. His rookie year, under Pat Shurmur, he actually had a lot of good moments. He started 12 games, but he threw for over 3,000 yards and 24 touchdowns. It felt like the Giants had something special building with him and then some other offensive weapons that they had, such as Saquon Barkley in the backfield. After Shurmur, Daniel Jones had to go through a gauntlet of coaches, however. 3 different head coaches during his tenure between Shurmur, Judge, and Daboll. Also, he had to deal with multiple different coaching changes at the offensive coordinator level during that time frame as well. One thing that's been said about Daniel Jones, whoever is coaching him during that time, is that he's a fantastic leader. You even see it with some of the players that played with him after leaving the Giants, such as Saquon Barkley, talk about how great of a leader he is. Another issue that Daniel Jones faced during his time with the Giants is that he had an awful offensive line, which led to him having to develop some bad habits, getting the ball out, maybe getting the ball out low, fast, having to scramble more than he needed to, and also just dealing with a plethora of different injuries during his time with the Giants. So why is Indianapolis different? Well, for one, the Colts have one of the best offensive lines in the league, anchored by Quentin Nelson. This is night and day compared to what Jones had in New York. When Jones is kept clean, his passer rating takes a significant jump upwards. Secondly, the Colts have a legitimate run game. Jonathan Taylor is one of the top bats in the league when he's healthy, and pairing him with Jones allows him to have a much more balanced offensive attack. When you think of Jones' single playoff appearance and the playoff game that he won against the Vikings, the Giants leaned into the play action and quarterback runs, pairing him up with Saquon Barkley. Indianapolis will likely take that blueprint and try to improve upon it. Finally, let's talk about receivers. Michael Pittman Jr. is a true number 1 receiver. Josh Downs flashed as a slot, and Alec Pierce has a lot of speed. Jones is finally getting a trio of receivers that is halfway decent. If you look at Jones's receivers during his time with the Giants, his number 1 option has most of the time been Darius Slayton. Now, I love Darius Slayton, but he is not a number 1 option. Finally, Shane Steichen. The Colts head coach made his name by designing offenses around quarterback strengths. He helped Justin Herbert thrive as a rookie, and then he built an MVP caliber offense around Jalen Hurts in Philly. If anyone can maximize Daniel Jones' dual threat ability, it's Shane Steichen. I mean, think about how Steichen used Hurts. There are designed runs, RPOs, and simple but explosive play designs. Jones has the athleticism to do something similar. Jones is one of the fastest quarterbacks in the league, even if all you can think about when he runs is that one time that he tripped and fell at the 5-yard line. He never had a system that felt like it leaned into it consistently. You add that in with a strong run game, reliable protection, and creative play calling, and suddenly Jones is in the position to play to his strengths instead of trying to cover up weaknesses. This is how a quarterback potentially revives their career. Not by changing who they are, but by finding the right environment. Look, I know Daniel Jones is a little bit of a meme, and I know that Daniel Jones will never live up to the hype that was built around him in New York. But in Indianapolis, he doesn't necessarily have to. He needs to be a solid quarterback, stay healthy, and execute an offense that actually fits his skill set. If Jones can do that, the Colts could surprise a lot of people this season. And for Jones, it could be the redemption arc he's been waiting for. Thanks for tuning in to this Players Spotlight. This is the Dynasty Blueprint, where we look at players' legacies one team at a time. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with any Colts fans in your life. Or maybe even some Giants fans. Have a nice day.